Hello, greetings. It is I, spacetypo, and you are watching part 2. If you did not see part 1, go watch that first. And when I say that, I mean like actually go watch that one first. It is vital information. Because if you don't watch that one first, this one will make no sense. So the first one is very, very short, and it is the absolute basics. This one, I'm walking around talking about the lore, or how I, like my little headcanons and stuff like that. So that's that. Walking tour, let's go. So when I was building this, I decided to create a very specific aesthetic. I was trying to maintain the sea lantern granite, chiseled stone, and stone bricks, as well as you'll see the brick floors here. I tried to maintain that as much as possible. I think there might have been wood at some point, but I can't remember if I got rid of it or not. But anyways, so that's that. This is again, as I said, this is the first thing that I had found. So we're gonna go from here. By the way, these little flags that you see, that flag here, this is my flag. I just put it around whenever I find something and whenever I find a new location, just to show that I've been there, I've conquered it. This is my brother's flag when he comes and when I open up the land server and he plays with me. Like when I set the mode to survival mode. And because this is a gift to him, this was his birthday gift. So, right down here. So you can see the kind of the inside here. Again, like there's not, you see like the jungle temple thing? There's that. Like I just left it there because that's kind of what villages look like now. So in here, I did not show this interior. First of all, this just leads outside to this garden that nobody's tending to because why would they? And then down here you go and find a mushroom thingy. I'm pretty sure that's not how you grow mushrooms, but I thought I'd put it there. Maybe I'll update it at one point my own. Oops. Okay, no, I'm not even gonna try to touch it just because I don't have my mouse thing. Sugar cane. I'm actually gonna go up here for a second just to show you this little room I did. I made this for my brother. I don't know how this would fit into the lore, but this was just a neat little observatory. I thought it'd be cool to look at it. But yeah, it doesn't really fit into the lore. This was just kind of a neat addition I did for my brother, just because fuck it, why not? Okay, let's go. So, cute little fountain. Yeah. So I already showed this in the first video, but this is what it looks like on the inside. I put little things kind of like how you would find in a normal village or whatever. Here's a library. This is based off of normal libraries, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But that is normal library. There's nothing in these chests yet, but yeah. So that's kind of, I tried to base it off of a normal, like a library that you'll find in another village. Except there's these cool little designs on top that echo the one here. So there's these little patterns that I try to imitate. How did you get here? Hello? Thank you. That's kind of a downside. Do not go back in there. The downside of this is that the villagers keep getting trapped in them. Here, so desert, little well thing, but again in the style of Prismar. This is just a blatant copy, essentially, of the of the other one that I showed you. But I thought, Minecraft glitches a lot, and so I thought this would be a really neat little, like in the world generation, it sometimes glitches, so I thought this would be like a neat little glitch type idea under here because there is a big ass wall and I don't want to go around it all the time, but again, try to maintain the aesthetic. So, the 1.14 update was really, really important. Fuck's sake. Okay, that's just a house. I'm not going to go in there. It looks the same. Hey, you, what are you doing in there? But yeah, here's kind of cool because, again, there's a house. And this leads into the loom, loom, cartography. So there's all of these careers that you could have in theory. And then here there is what is this thing called? I don't remember what this thing's called, but that's there. Down here, table again. Try to, this is a blatant copy of the village. I have no idea what function that serves, but I just left it there. Down here we have, stone cutter, smoker, a bed. Again, just trying to flush your table, just trying to open up as many career possibilities. Let's go down here. Down here there is a mine. Don't really need to show you that. There's my chicken coop. There's a house under there. Again, you can kind of see the imitation. The cows, for some fucking reason, just all accumulate up there. I'm not sure why. Now that it's nighttime, I can show it to you what it looks like. This is what it looks like at night. There's not enough light to keep mobs from spawning, but it is what it is. So. Yeah, so that was that. Go back down here. I mean, I could add a road in theory there. I might later, but let's say we walk back up here. Again, here's just a copy. Down here, another copy of that, except this one I put a little window. These guys are really good at farm. Are you going to have a baby? They probably have a baby somewhere in there. Yeah. So, go back here. At this video I showed, this is in the original video, there was a little baby villager that came in here. It was kind of funny. See, they keep getting stuck. It's beautiful aesthetic. It's a nice aesthetic. I like it. But, unfortunately, that is a downside. In here there is this is for fishermen. I don't think there's anything in here. There's nothing in there. I think it's purely decorative. This is a house which we saw a villager go into. But yeah, so let's go up here. This is a brewing stand. I thought I would... there was more shit in here, but I try to put everything... I try to put as many things in here as possible to make brewing possible. Okay, these iron golems. These guys spawned automatically. I didn't know that they would, but they did. And I don't know, it was kind of cool. I think it was pretty successful that they did this by themselves. I didn't know it was going to happen, but I didn't know it did happen, but it was really neat to just find them and to see them show up. Okay, this one really confused me. There's a picture on Tumblr of a bunch of a rune that was more complete than this, and I'll put a picture here. And I think I might try to rebuild this at some point in the style, like copying that Tumblr picture, but I didn't know what to put here. This is a offering to myself, I guess, because I'm their new god. Let's go down here. Okay, so this is a house. I really like this. Usually I like to have some stairs here because the villagers do kill themselves by jumping off of this, but I took it out for the video to make it look pretty. So again, this is literally just a house for people to live in. Hi! What are you up to? Move. Here, just some food and shit. Out here, this leads to a lovely little seating area. I wish that you could actually sit in Minecraft. It would be cool if you could. You could like sit on stairs so that things aren't pure. I don't like decorative shit. Did that open the door again? Oh no. Okay. I wish that things weren't purely decorative in Minecraft, because I think it'd be cool if it wasn't. Here we go. Cool shit. I spent a solid minute trying to find the right painting, but it's cool as shit. I love it. So that's that. Now we will go up the stairs. Oh yeah, you can see there's some like regular stone here. I just kind of left it unfinished because I thought it would look better. Because just having, imagine if this entire thing was cobblestone. I don't think it would look very good. I don't know, I just think it would look ugly, and so I actually did also add some grass in some places. Just because I wanted to break it up, because if it was just cobblestone, I don't think it would work very well. I think it would look too monotone. Up here we have, they all congregate up here. I'm not sure why. It is what it is, though. Oh yeah, here. These guys are fucking loaded. They have everything, so I gave them a horse. There's a horse on the other end as well, in diamond armor. But yeah, so if you need to go somewhere, you have a horse. This little garden was pretty fun to make. This took me quite a while. The villagers sometimes get stuck in this little area as well, but I tried to make it symmetrical. Not sure why, but I just wanted to. Oh, are you enjoying the garden, sir? Where are you going? Don't get stuck in the fountain. Alright, so that's that. Okay, this room. This is probably one of my favorites. This is how I tie it back to Prismar. This is obviously what they use in the monuments. Here you have a lovely little enchantment room. I had books and lapis here so that you can do that. Here is repair and disenchant. Here if you want to enchant things. So that was that. This is also really fun. As you could, that's where my that's where my nether portal is. But as you can see, kind of this design, I tried to imitate this top here, but I reduced it to a quarter. So I did my best. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it looks a little squashed, but I had realized that I didn't have a nether portal. I was like, these need a nether portal. Plus, these guys have melon. And this is the closest village. This is the only village that I can remember that has melon. And so if I want to make some melon for enchanting, I thought, here we go. I added this fancy ass, what is it called? Whatever this block is called, so. Yeah, this is to my house. just because, you know, I do like to play in survival quite a bit. Oh shit, so I'm gonna have to go through it. Fuck's sake. Oh my god. Let me free! Okay. Alright, that was the tour. Yeah, I just thought it would be cool to have another portal there. So, that is my epic tour of Prismar. I think it's pretty. I think it was a lot of fun to make. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to talk about the lore. We have now arrived at the lore aspect of the video, and this is my favorite part.
That's my opinion!
To build the city, it helped to come up with a story, and I essentially tried to reverse engineer the villages that we see today. When I was finishing up the details, game theory actually came out with 2 drown theories, which helped me develop the story, and I felt like it really kind of validated that the little narrative I had going on. This is my contribution to the timeline that MatPat created, and I wanted to provide a possible explanation for how the builders were able to get the Ender Pearls to escape to the end, and later become the Enderman, because that was a big plot hole, I guess, in his video. If you want to understand kind of when I say builders, and I mean like these super builders or master builders or whatever, you should check out MatPat's videos first. So if you know what I'm talking about, great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, not great. I think that not only did the builders build monuments, I think that they built cities, and that Prismar is an example of these cities. And I also think that modern villages are based on these cities, but aren't as advanced. I think that they're more regressed versions of the originals. This idea kind of came from the fact that villagers only have one specialization. Like, for example, like you can only have a librarian or a weaponsmith, but you can't have both. At least that's kind of how I remember it. Like, you can't have every single thing in one village. You can only have 1 or 2 specializations. But I think that these cities had everything. So, now I'm going to tell you kind of the story that I have created, that I had in my head to help me build the city and try to figure out what they could have had. My story goes like this. There were master builders that lived on what is now the bottom of the ocean. They had cities and built monuments for a god. Then there was a giant flood. They were forced upwards and lost everything. I'm thinking that maybe there was no land where there is land now, and so it's kind of like a Noah's Ark type situation with just a giant sea. And I think that the villagers, what are now the villagers, the builders from all these cities were separated, and the survivors only retained certain skills, which is why there's so little job diversity in independent villages. And I think that they never progressed. Tying it back to MatPat's theory, the Wither threatened them and had been threatening them for a while now, but they escaped to the strongholds regularly. The strongholds were almost complete, which is why when they spawn near ravines or mines, they're incomplete. However, they had been working on an end portal which was complete and fled in a mass exodus. The stronghold wasn't ready for long-term living, yet it was an escape hatch. My idea is that not all builders could go to the end, and that those left behind weren't as advanced and didn't have the skills, and that they remained in a somewhat primitive state and had to rebuild their civilization from scratch. It's possible that this is a bit like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where some of the master builders had special abilities. Maybe they could have the ability to enchant things, whereas normal people couldn't. These ones went to the end. Which ties back to the strongholds. They had the ability to swim down to them, now submerged in water due to the flood because of their enchantment abilities. Normal people would drown on the way down. It should be noted, however, that there are some villager descendants of the enchanters, you could call them, which is why you can buy enchanted books and items. However, there were not enough of them to rebuild their civilization, though. Or hell, maybe they weren't just enchanters. Maybe they could go so far as to switch creative mode on and off. And like that, they achieved a godlike status. But to me, that doesn't make any sense, because then they could have defeated the Ender Dragon pretty easily. So, I'm thinking that maybe there was one that could, and that was the god that they revered and built monuments for. So, this is some kind of Jesus-like figure. It was able to be, this one individual was able to be God, but also be mortal and walk amongst people if God wanted to. On top of it, they're able to revive if they're killed. Did you notice that dark prismarine has a similar color as ender pearls? Back to Abrahamic religions, God created matter out of literally nothing, just like we produce unlimited resources out of our inventory. From a villager's perspective, it might seem like it's coming out of thin air. The creative mode God, I don't know, that's the name that I'm giving it. The creative mode God showed them the ender pearls, warning them of the future and that they had to get ready, but that they had to worship if they wanted to make the deal. They created monuments with similar colors as the ender pearls that they were going to use around the important gold, was satisfied and gave them a way out. Part of that worship meant making the guardians, which they created before the flood to protect their goods. So I think that once the flood came and destroyed everything, I think that they were just like activated, essentially. Because I mean, if you're a god that can go anywhere and do anything, I don't think it's too difficult to, hop around the timeline to the past and present and just grab some Endermen from the future, kill them and take their ender pearls and then give them to them, to the past. So it's kind of a time loop that's going on. But I mean, if you're God, you're not exactly restricted by time and space. So this is why they got the ender pearls before they sealed their fate and became Endermen, because they were always meant to be Endermen. I think that they knew what they were getting into and they willingly made that trade. They knew that one day they would be released. This might seem like a threatening God. They had two options: drown or escape. Reject the god or worship it. If you want to really whip out some quantum worlds, multiple worlds quantum shit. So there's these two timelines. So there's the path of either you worship the god and escape, or you reject the god and drown. And both of these situations are real, it's just that we're playing on the worship timeline, in which they successfully escaped and then became Endermen. Maybe some of these builders knew it was a sacrifice, but my suspicion is they didn't, and simply wanted to escape the flood. The god was using them as a means to an end for some kind of agenda we haven't figured out yet, or they were to be reincarnated as the player without knowledge of their past life, and the builders just wanted to preserve their lives. Maybe they knew they would be Endermen, maybe they didn't. Either way, they knew the god would come back. The player is the new god, with the same limitations as the creative mode god, coming to liberate the original builders who traded their life for an escape that was given thanks to their satisfactory worship, an escape that was ultimately a sacrifice. I named Prismar after the builders' sacrifice. The only thing we know about them for certain is the prismarine of their temples that helped them escape in the first place. It was a way to honor the fact that they chose to become Endermen for me, and you, and all of us players. Prismar is a snapshot of the past, just before the flood, when the master builders lived on what is now the bottom of the ocean before being forced either upwards or to the end, waiting for the new god that would liberate them. This is Ginger, by the way. She says hello. And yeah, that's it. That's my video. Rebuilding the ruins, calling it Prismar after Prismarine. And that's my addition to the online saga, the online debate, discussion that people are having about this Minecraft lore. It was really fun to make. Let me know if you would be interested in seeing anything else. I'm really not sure what I could do. So yeah, that's it. Let me know. Ginger, what do you think of Minecraft? Ginger, say bye-bye to the viewer. Bye. Okay, she wants to go. Yeah, that's it basically. Peace. See, they keep falling. I guess I could show you the Look! Oh my god, you know what? They also have babies in the bushes. Hi! A baby! He's so cute.